Good morning, my friends. We have some delicious news and a very big potential leak for the Horus Heresy. Hello, everyone. My name is Asmogan, and today we're going to be talking about a leak that got shared around on my Discord. First, it was an image that someone screenshot from r/warmer30k, but I decided to hunt down the actual post to make sure A, the post was real, and B, that there may be more to the images, and there was more to the images than what was shown on my Discord. So let's jump right on over to that. All right, so this is what was shared. Well, the image that was shared on my Discord was this one, and this is the back of the potential new Warhammer Saturn. I'll say this off the bat: this is very convincing looking. Honestly, I think this looks legit. I mean, it's got the little sheen showing that the texture on the box is like that plasticky laminated feeling. It's gruddy enough to look like it's in the back of someone's truck or something. It's even got Timberlands. But like, but this is the front of the box. It was listed new on Facebook Marketplace for 500. Which I'm just gonna say this: if you raid the back of a truck, which I'm not saying this person did, but it's got that vibe to it with all these boxes, and clearly like with this right here, this guy's got like a dozen plus of these SATURNINE boxes to sell. I'm just saying, if you're gonna raid the back of a truck, wouldn't you? I'm sorry. Wouldn't you sell for more than 500? That's the only thing about this I find suspicious. I can believe someone got their hands on a bunch of the new box sets for a potential drop of a new Horus Heresy edition. I could totally believe that. The only part that I find weird is that it's like, yeah, 500. But then again, it's already GW already asks an exorbitant price tag for their own stuff, and this is, I think, hopefully, more than what they are gonna ask for the box anyway. So it is more. Maybe the scalper is just trying. Well, I say scalper. I'm not sure if scalper is the right term for this. The leaker, at the very least, is probably just trying to keep what they're asking price to quote unquote a reasonable level. But yeah, like just looking at the back of the box and the front of the box, I'm 80%, no, sorry, I'm 90% convinced this is legit. It's just really tiny things that make me hesitant to say 100%. First off, we're in the age of like AI art getting extremely fucking impressive, and I'm not saying that this is what this is. Normally with AI art, there's some kind of like tell, but we're also in the age of really talented photoshops. And this could be a Photoshop of the Age of Darkness box set for the actual launch of the Horus Heresy. If it is, holy shit, did they do a good job photoshopping it? But because it looks so legit, and the front and the back too, the front and the back pics. Yeah, so I'm gonna up that to 95% certain. I'm really gonna eat crow if it's not, but it formatted the way it looks, all the tiny little details everywhere. It looks too real. It looks too real. So I think this is an actual leak of the new box set. God, I hope I don't eat crow on that. But yeah, like it looks cool. The box set looks cool. I'm not a fan of how huge the Saturnine Dreadnought is. I'm not saying that's lore inaccurate. I'd have to double check my stats on the Saturnine Dreadnought. It's painted pretty damn cool. I do like the design of it. It's just a little chunky. I don't know. I'm nitpicking though. So the Praetor, Saturnine Terminator, what looks to be a Mark II Tactical Marine. Always love to see the standard Tactical Marines in the old drip. Especially Mark IIs. Mark IIs is kind of cool. Mark III is probably my favorite pattern of like the helm armor, but that's me. Mark II Veteran Legionary, and can't make out what this guy is. So it looks like the box set is split into the two factions. This is green, so I'm going to assume, and with the molten cracked lava look here, I'm going to say, oh, and I almost missed that. The actual symbol of the salamanders right there. It's pretty clear that it's going to be Salamanders v Iron Warriors in this box. And I wish that glare is good to be there because it kind of proves the box is real, or helps prove it's real. But I'm unhappy it's there because I can't make out the rest of the reading here as it's broken up. But I can make out at least this much. The galaxy burst. Oh no, it's an exclamation point. Sorry, I'm illiterate. The galaxy burns. War Master Horus has betrayed the Emperor. of mankind and plunged the Imperium into civil war. Now, it looks like the box set, in terms of its theme, is set in the Drop Site Massacre, which I believe is Isfan 5, if I'm not getting things mixed up. Because Isfan 3 and Isfan 5 are like the notable planets in the Isfan system in regards to the beginning of the Horus Heresy. Isfan 5, again, if my memory is serving me correctly, is where the Drop Site Massacre occurs. That's where, after Horus made himself outright, as an open traitor alongside the World Eaters and the Emperor's Children, I believe. It was them three. Might have been a fourth, but I'm pretty sure it was them three. The Emperor sent a huge subduing force to capture Horus, the World Eaters, and the Emperor's Children and try and bring them back to be tried or accused. I'm not sure exactly what the Emperor's plan there was, but they were sent to subdue the traitors. And amongst the force of the loyalists, some of which weren't actually loyalists, were just pretending that way they could sandwich the forces in the Drop Site Massacre. Spoilers there. But the subduing force that went included the salamanders amongst the loyalists, actual loyalists amongst them, that were planning on subduing Horus and the World Leaders and the Emperor's Children, the Luna Wolves. All right, so, and amongst the, again, air quotes, loyalists that were sent to subdue Horus and the other traitors was the Iron Warriors and Perturabo. If you're going to go for a theme for a box set for the Horus Heresy, it's probably one of the most fitting, like, dropbacks you could go for. I do actually like the theme that they're going for. Unfortunately, this box is probably going to cost an arm and a leg. The Scalper is only asking for 500, which is interesting. You'd think if you have in your hands, clearly, multiple box sets of this major new release. I don't know if this guy rated a truck. I don't know if he is a retailer that just got them cheap from GW and they're selling them out or sending them out to all the retailers in preparation for the drop, which they have announced the drop of what's going to be the new edition, which I'll show you right now, their article. Although I put in air quotes again, article, because it's not very substantive. In 399 hours, which has got to be like a lot less than that now. They're gonna drop the big thing. So this guy is selling these scalped boxes for $500 a couple hundred hours before the actual drop. I would ask for more than 500 myself. I mean, come on, it's the Warhammer community. They'll fucking pay it. You could ask for $1,000. Some jackass is gonna buy the box for like $1,000. Are you kidding me? Like, I would try my luck at that, but I don't know. Maybe the guy's just trying to get quick sales off of this stuff. Hopefully, he didn't steal this shit. Hopefully, this is just a retailer who's leaking the boxes and trying to sell them over the Facebook. But who knows? This also might not even be a leak, by the way. One thing that has been weird about like the games industry as well as like other industries in the last, I want to say, decade, is we keep getting a lot of convenient leaks right before like a major launch and stuff like that, of whether it's a video game or like a tabletop thing. And whenever I see leaks, it's becoming less of a case of, is the leak real, or is the person who's leaking it actually leaking, or have they been requested by, in this case, Games Workshop, to leak it in the hopes of drumming up more hype. I don't know. Like, maybe that's a little, like a little bit of a conspiracy theory cap, like a tinfoil cap situation, but I'm going to throw it out there. It's something I've seen increasingly over the years is where there's only a little bit of hype to help drum up more. There's a lot of convenient leaks right before the launch of a thing. So that's what I find kind of interesting. But maybe that's just me being a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. Let me know if y'all feel the same way or if I'm completely off the pale there. But anyway, onto the article. All right, so the article that they dropped is Planetfall Countdown. Drop. Minus 399 hours. And it says it was posted 1 minute ago. 1 minute? Oh, sorry, that's a 1 minute read. 13th of May, 2025. So that's today. So we got some time. So okay, Planetfall minus 399 hours. Terran side real time. So, more or less, this is the time frame we're gonna have before they officially announce and showcase the next box set alongside, I'm assuming, Warhammer the Horus Heresy revamp set, basically Warhammer Horus Heresy 2.0, the next edition of it. So the second edition of the revamp of the Horus Heresy, which I'll just say second, the next edition of Warhammer the Horus Heresy. So that's officially dropping. Like, well, I say that maybe it's not a new edition, but I'm saying that with such a big box with like the theme of the SATURNINE box and everything, that feels like a new edition drop. So we're gonna get a new edition in 399 hours. The Symphalia class warp runner Temporesta of the Raven Guard breaches real space at the distant extent of the Istvan system. Intent on masking its route as the forerunner of a reconnaissance fleet, outfitted with extensive and advanced augury and sensorium equipment, the ship is one of the most capable stealth vessels in the entire Imperial battle line. With a fine tally of Redactus category augur missions already accomplished by the vessel and its skilled crew, providing invaluable intelligence for expeditionary actions during the Great Crusade. The crew of the Ad Temporesta moved under view of darkness, ranging far ahead of the Retribution fleet itself. To confirm the worst, and even from afar, the scale of the carnage wrought upon the Isfan III is plain for them to see. With all who their brethren of the 19th, I think that is, 19th Legion bought? I think I meant to say brought. Legion brought into Imperial compliance years before, having perished in the scouring fires of cyclonic immolation. So yeah, it's Isfan 3 is the actual... that was the purge of loyalists amongst the traitor legions. So, honestly, like, one of the most harrowing moments from the very first book. Sorry, not the very first book, the second book. But when that moment happens... When they viral bomb the planet, and then when the actual fighting begins on the surface between the loyalists and traitors of the very same legions, slamming into each other, and that moment, I believe, I can't remember which legion it was. I believe it was Death Guard. The Death Guard dreadnought that stayed above surface because he couldn't fit in the underground. In the deep underground caverns where they were going to hide from the initial viral bomb and then the actual inflaming of the planet. He couldn't fit down there, so he told them, "Oh, my armor will protect me. Go down, brothers." And one other Death Guard guy, loyalist, stayed up top with him. And when the viral bomb hit, and they were just literally like melting in their own armor in the most miserable fashion. And they blow themselves, the dreadnought. I feel so bad I don't remember the dreadnought's name. But the dreadnought says, "Hey, we deny, this death is ours. We deny you, Horus." And they blow themselves up rather than be killed by the viral bomb. It's such a badass fucking moment. Oh god, I gotta reread the book. Because I feel so bad I do not fucking remember the Dreadnought's name. But it is one of the most badass moments. And people give Ryan Lenore a ton of credit. I'm sorry. That Dreadnought, I feel terrible I don't remember his name, which is all the worse. But that Dreadnought deserves a little bit more recognition, I think. I'm just saying. Oh, God. But anyway, yeah. So that's the Fires of Isfan 3. So that confirms that the actual backdrop of this box set is not obviously because the salamanders weren't even there. It's not the Isfan 3 purge. It's the actual drop site massacre in Isfan 5 when they're trying to subdue the traitors. And obviously this is like this little story tidbit is a build up to that. That they're going to scout ahead because they're about to try and subdue Horus, Angron, and Fulgrim. Why did I say Lorgar? Fulgrim, Angron, and Horus. That's who they're going to go handle. But the crew of Ad 10%, Isfan 3, is plain for them to see, and all their brethren of the 19th Legion brought into Imperial compliance years before having perished into the scouring fires of cyclonic immolation. Isfan 5 is identified as Horus's base of operations, and range scans indicate that the bulk of his forces are concentrated in a region known as the Urgor Depression, where a mighty fortress has been raised to take advantage of the natural topography. The loyalist vessel is, however, unopposed in the void, and little sign of the War Master's battle fleet can be found. Yep, we're pretty much getting a new edition very, very shortly. So, what does this mean? Well, we're getting a new box set and new miniatures. Now, I'm still invested in the Horus Heresy era of lore. I mentioned recently that 40k, I've pretty much given up on where the lore is going for that. I just feel that they've already taken it in too many negative directions, and I don't think that they're intending on actually fixing anything. They're only... I basically have no trust to GW is going to take the lore of 40k. Like 9th edition already... 8th through 9th to 10th, there's just been so many horrible lore inclusions that honestly I'm just kind of ignoring all the lore going forward. I'm gonna, I still love the lore prior, like kind of early 8th edition and prior, with some exceptions, but everything 9th and on has just been a endless cavalcade of fuck yous to anybody who was invested in the lore prior, including them, like the writers directly saying that there is, like several of the writers saying directly there is no canon, which by the way, you cannot have lore without canon. Sorry, Luton, that's not how it works. If you don't have a canon, you don't have lore. Because the canon is the spinal column. It's the literal structure on which everything is built. If you don't have that, none of the other stuff matters. None of the other stuff has substance. All those books behind me literally have nothing to them. They don't matter. They're each individual like novels that have nothing really attaching them other than a name and some themes. So you need a canon for something to even exist in terms of a fictional universe. So, yeah, with authors saying ignorant shit like that, and worse, some of the community actually siding with them, again, Luton, I just don't have any respect for where, like, GW and Black Library, I have no respect for them. I have no respect for they're taking the lore and what they're going to do. I see more and more politics being pushed into the writings. I'm good. I like the old stuff. I'll stick with the old stuff. In terms of miniatures, I got a 3D printer. I don't know, like, the boycott I have been on for a long time hasn't really done anything, but I probably still won't buy minis. At this point, it's less because of a boycott and just because I want to save money. Like, if I want to buy new miniatures, I'll probably not get 40k or Horus Heresy. I'll probably branch out to something like Bolt Action or Cophic 47. I hear theirs are a little bit cheaper, and their molds aren't that much worse than what GW makes. I don't know. But for right now, I don't really buy minis. I buy resin, and then I print off my own models. And they look pretty good, too. Let me show you one. Okay, alright, so I couldn't find any that I hadn't already primed, but I have some Deathcore DKOK. That is, this is, I believe, Redmakers. I hope he's still around. But it's a Redmakers model. I've got him primed. This is 3D printed. I got also some bits and bobs for some artillery that I 3D printed off, and look how good that is. Like, the detail on just something as basic as like an ammo crate is nuts. Like, look at that. And I even got some loose ones I have lying around somewhere. Pretty sure I glued those in. But I absolutely love the detail on these 3D prints that I've got. So honestly, like, it's not even just like me saying fuck you to Games Workshop that I 3D print. Honestly, like, if you're looking for high quality miniatures that you want to paint and spend time on, that you don't want to spend an arm and a leg for, 3D print. I mean, look at that. That is high quality, high detail, and it's not even like I have like the top of the line printer or anything. So I honestly, like, it just as a financial move, if you're going to be invested in the tabletop space and wargaming space in particular, and you want to save money, 3D print. But that being said, there is some news I'll go over in another video, which I don't have time for today, so I'm going to be even later on that news. But I wanted to talk about this upcoming. I want to talk about this leak and the upcoming set. I believe would this be called second edition? Because technically speaking, the Horus Heresy is a 2.0 of the prior Great Crusade tabletop game. So would this be, fuck it, I'm just going to call it second edition Horus Heresy, because technically this is second edition. So would this be 2.2 or 2.1? I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm just going to say it's the second edition of the revamp of the Horus Heresy. How about that? We'll go with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and also, did I get anything wrong in, like, my recollection of lore? That was all off the top of my head, so if I did get anything wrong, I don't feel bad about it, but if I got everything right, I'm happy with myself. My memory isn't as bad as I think. But, yeah, I'm going to end the video there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.